Hey YouTube, Mark here. What I'm doing today is I've got an old cast iron pan that I want to get re-seasoned. It's something I don't use very often, and it was actually my grandmother's, so I want to take care of it. And so yeah, this is what I've done so far. Of course, it looks like crap. But what I did is I just sent it through the cleaning cycle of my oven just to get the old oil and everything all cleaned off. I now have to wash it and get everything off, and then I'll re-season it, put it in the oven, and get that process going. So yeah, that's how far I am right now. But right now I need to wash that dirty pan in the sink, get all that old oil and rust and stuff off of there. Probably have to get some steel wool, scrub it up a little bit, but I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I got all the bulky stuff taken off the pan now. Sorry I'm not showing you each individual step as I'm going. I lost the little mount thing for my tripod, so I actually have to hold the video camera. Actually, it's not even lost. My daughter has it, but I don't. So basically what I did is I just stuck it in water, scrubbed it with a nylon brush, got all the bulk stuff off. Now I'm just going to take an SOS pad. I'm going to go around, just really try to scrub up as much of the old rust particles and stuff as I can. Anything that basically stays on is going to get all covered with oil, so I'm not too worried about that. But I need to get all the flaky stuff off, which isn't a lot. It looks like a lot, but it's not. Yes, I gotta do the sides and the back as well. Now you can do the same process on any cast iron pan. In fact, you can even use a cordless drill with a wire brush, and that would work just fine as well. Now I know what some of you are probably saying, oh, you shouldn't be using steel wool on cast iron. Well, that's right if it's already seasoned. I am actually stripping the seasoning off so I can re-season it. Alright, I got it all cleaned up. I am going to turn the oven on just on a low temperature. I just want to dry out the metal, so just turn the burner on. Once this all evaporates, I'll turn it off and let it cool down. Okay, that pan is now cooled off. It's dry and everything, so now what I need to do is I need to put a very, very thin layer, let me repeat that, thin layer of oil on the pan. A lot of people screw that up. They put too much on there and it does not do what it's supposed to do. So let me show you what to do. Alright, being I've got a lot of surface area to cover, I'm actually going to put in a decent amount. But that should be enough right there to do the entire pan, and you do all the pan. You do the top, the bottom, the handle, the sides. You do everything. And yes, for right now, you're just kind of slopping it all over the place. Oh, but Mark, you just said that you needed a thin layer. And you're right, I did. But right now, we just need to get everything all covered. That's actually one of the reasons I hate doing this with paper towel. I'm going to do the inside, the underside. Okay, now that you got the whole thing all covered in oil, you're going to take a clean towel and you're going to go around and you're just going to soak up as much as you can. Just take it all off. If you're going to use paper towel like I am, you gotta change these just after a couple of swipes, because the tissues will start breaking down and you'll end up with fibers all over your cast iron. You don't want that. It was actually starting to happen to me as I put on the oil. So I'm hoping that this will also grab some of those fibers. Okay. Around the side. See, that's what I mean, those fibers right there. I really don't want those on there. All right. I'm actually getting pretty pissed off with those paper towels. I mean, they're leaving fibers all over. Time to get a actual cloth now. Alright. Okay, now that the cast iron is fully covered in oil, but as you can see, it actually kind of looks, it's glistening, but there's no puddles, there's no pools. It looks pretty good, right? Alright, so now what we need to do, crank up your oven between 400 and 500 degrees, okay? I'm going for 450. I'm shooting right for the middle. I'm going to put the pan in for an hour. Alright? You put it in when the oven's cold. So, cold oven. Some people say flip it over upside down. That way, if there was any excess oil inside, it will actually drip out. So that's kind of a little helpful tip. But I got my oven set at around 450 degrees. And I will set the timer for 1 hour. Okay, so basically it's going to sit in there. It's going to cook in the oven for 1 hour. I'll turn the oven off and I will just leave it in there. I'm not going to pull it out. You leave it in there until the oven is completely cooled down. Then you take it out and you actually repeat the process again. You can do it up to 3, even 4 times, okay? It's not going to hurt anything to do it more often than you should. So that's what I'm going to do. Hour, turn it off, let it sit, cool down, repeat, okay? Alright, that beeping was my 1 hour. Now I'm just going to leave the door closed. I'm going to leave the pan in there and just let it cool down naturally. Then once it's cooled down, I'll take the pan out. I'll give it another coat of oil, put it back in for another hour, 400, 500 degrees. Again, another hour, just going to sit in there, and same exact thing again, just let it chill. Alright, so I'm probably going to take at least, I'm going to say at least an hour to 2 hours just for this to cool down enough to where I can get in there and pull out that pan. Okay, good morning, guys. How do you know it's another morning? Different shirt. Okay, finished off the Æbleskiver pan last night, and I'll tell you what I had to do. I started the process so late in the day, and I didn't realize it was going to take so much time to actually cool that pan down to get it out of the oven for the next seasoning session. I mean, it took like 4 hours to let it cool down completely, and then start the process again. So I was up pretty late last night. I put my last seasoning on right around midnight. Let it go for that 500 degrees, 450, 500 degrees area for an hour. Turned it off at around 1. And I just left the pan sitting in the oven last night and I went to bed. So it should be nice and cool this morning. So let's take a look and see what we got. Oh yeah, that looks pretty nice. pretty nice. Definitely looks a lot better than when I started. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. Alright, this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. Maybe my next video I'll actually record me making Æbleskivers. Alright, see you guys later. See you on the road.